it's Dustin with TechMD coming at you with a new phone. We finally got the 5.8 in our hands and not the 6 or 6 Pro yet, but I'm assuming we'll eventually see one of those. So I just wanted to do a comparison, make sure that we actually got the right device here. And yeah, it definitely looks like it. The cable looks like it connects right there. So this is definitely going to be a front-facing screen removal, which should be nice and easy, as I expected. So what we're going to start off with is, I'm going to put this on the heater. Make sure you do not do this repair without fully watching it, because you're going to need several tools and glue as well. So tool number one is, I recommend this. I'm going to leave an Amazon link, or you can go on Injured Gadgets for a little bit cheaper and buy it there. Amazon, obviously, you can get it cheaper. If you have like a professional heat gun or whatnot, you can do that, and they look like this. But make sure you actually have heat control and not just a heat gun. So what we're gonna do is put the hot pad to 120 degrees Celsius. Industrial standard is between 80 to 100. If you want to go for a little bit shorter or longer time, you want to make sure that you heat up the device for 3 minutes on 120 degrees Celsius, or about 5 minutes with 80 to 100. Basically, you want to just hot to the touch, and then we're going to need several tools, and especially the T7000 glue. A lot of companies use Tesla tape. I don't recommend it. It's not the seals that Google uses or a lot of other companies uses. T7000 is a water sealant. It is one of the best ones that you can get, so don't astray from T7000. Link in the description, direct link to Amazon, or if you want to get it cheaper, go on the Injured Gadgets website. Now, obviously, if you don't know, clicking on my link supports this channel and supports this video, so please do so. And once again, watch the whole video before doing the repair. I've just had so many people just like, and they get all the wrong stuff going. If you already have the parts, congratulations. But if you don't, please purchase the parts from the links in the description. They're gonna be pretty hard to find, and Injured Gadgets may not have them, so I'll try to get you guys some links. If I don't even have affiliate links, I'll just try to find you something to get these parts, because they are still fairly new and hard to get a hold of. And I'm in December right now, so hopefully in January, when you guys are watching this video, it'll be a little bit better, or after. Okay, so we've been about 3 minutes. It's nice and warm to the touch. And we're gonna go ahead and separate. If you can't turn off your phone, Google phones are pretty nice. Not all of them, but they're pretty nice. And you can just hold a couple buttons to restart it once you get it up and running. Okay, I'm gonna use the iFlex tool to enter into the device initially here. I'm cutting in between the plastic and the glass frame, which it is fairly difficult to get in between even with all that heat. Now, you're like, well, Dustin, I've only broke the glass only. Well, first of all, the way that a lot of these companies design the phones makes it very difficult just to remove the glass. And the OLED's super delicate. And a lot of times they glue down the OLED so tight, it's really hard to remove the OLED. Also, you need about $3,000 to $5,000 in equipment, and it's just not great for do-it-yourselfers at home. So I don't recommend it. This is breaking more like I think it is OLED. Yeah, no backlight, so it's OLED. So this is an iPlastix tool. It helps me cut inside without having to really worry about cables or damaging anything. I really have never damaged anything on the phone itself with the iPlastix. See, the cable even is a little crinkled up for me running it along, but it's just fine. I didn't cut it, because when I hit a hard barrier, I know that, hey, I can't move any further. but with a nice sharp iFlex tool, well, of course you can just cut it right off because it's what it's designed to do. It's nice and sharp. So I just use that iFlex to enter in. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. I need a T, looks like a T4, guys. But I'm gonna try T5 because it's a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's not T5. So it's either gonna be a T4 or T3. Oh, my T4 is all glued down. I do need to link these parts in the description if I can find them. They're WIHA. I know Injured Gadgets has them. I'm not sure if Amazon has them, but they are the best tools if you want to be amateur or a professional. You know, the iFixit toolkit is absolute garbage in my opinion. Don't tell them I said that, but it's just not good quality. So I'm putting a lot of pressure on that screw to unscrew it. It is a little bit tight, so it may be a T3, but the T4 worked just fine. All right, so tweezers might help here to see how this comes out. I'm just trying to pull, yep, just comes straight out. There's no clasp or anything that's holding it underneath. It's always nice. We're gonna go ahead and unplug that. And our screen looks identical. Before gluing this down or anything like that, highly recommend testing it. If you glue this down and you test it and then you take off the screen, for one, no one's gonna take your return, especially where I get that part from, because they're very strict from certain companies. Other companies are more relaxed, but if you have glue on the display. Two is you can break the display pulling it back off if you've already glued it down. So the glue doesn't really get super hard until about a couple days. But in the end, you want to be really careful not to glue that down without fully testing that display. Even if you are getting all original parts, you still want to test. I typically buy 2 of everything, and this is the first time I haven't. This year has been especially rough for TechMD. I've lost several technicians during the pandemic. They quit and then moved on to other fields because it was slow, which I don't blame them. And also, my personal business is slow. I've opened up a new office. I'm actually in my new office now. So a lot of expenses with not a lot of money coming in causes me to not buy 2 parts, which is not like me. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you can afford it, buy a second one of these Pixel 5As, especially. Now, just do it if you can afford it. You can always save that one. You can sell it to a friend, you can sell it locally, or you can return it. One of the 2 or 3, you can hold on to it is what I'd recommend, because you'll probably end up breaking it again in the future. Especially if you keep your phone long term. Because you got a battery right here. Looks like the battery is really easy to get a hold of. And actually you have to remove this whole bracket to replace this battery. But when you replace that battery after 2 to 3 years of use, your phone starts slowing down, you want to replace that battery. Guess what? You can make this phone last 6 years. And if you break your phone twice during those 6 years, you have that extra screen, it'll be worth it. And test both screens too before installing anyways, because then you know your backup screen's working, because you can't return it after so long if it's, you haven't tested it. We're gonna go ahead and try to plug this in, but this tape is stopping me, so I'm just removing that tape. And I will put the tape back on if the screen's defective. But anyways, so back to the point of me being slow, I didn't buy 2 because the parts are so expensive. And I have only got a couple calls since launching. And yeah, just couldn't afford a second one, unfortunately. So this one, I don't expect to immediately turn on. I don't know if the customer has charged it. Oh, it turned on. Okay, great. So if it doesn't, I think it's the volume down and power button to reset it. if it's charged. If it's not charged, plug it in and it should turn on. If you have any other issues, look to see if you bent the phone or anything crazy like that. So we're gonna get a passage unlock code here real quick, so just give me a minute. All right, so customer put his code in, and we're just swiping and swiping, just testing the touch everywhere. Jeez. Okay. And we're gonna swipe here and just make sure all the keys work. Okay. Looks like it's all good. And we're gonna go ahead and just turn it off. Okay, next step is you can apply the glue while it's sitting like this, but it was a really easy connection to plug into, so I don't really need to. But you want to get that this connection plugged in as soon as possible, as soon as you're done laying that glue. So we're gonna, next step is carefully remove any plastics that are impeding the install. This one's being particularly difficult. There we go. We got one more plastic here, which actually is on this side, so we can pull that up. Okay, next step, T7000 glue. Actually, no, excuse me. Next step, ear speaker. Let's check it out. Super tiny. If you lose this, good luck finding another one. So don't lose it. This is why I told you to watch the video first, because I'm exploring with you guys here. All right, so we need to see which side. This looks like the longer side, so I'm assuming the grill is gonna come over here. And yeah, it can only go one direction, which is really nice. A lot of times there's no real clear path. Okay, we're gonna put just a tiny tab of T7000 on each corner. Make sure all the glass and everything is removed off of that. When I was doing glass removal, I didn't really explain some things, so I will explain it to you guys real quick. That's super critical. Okay, so we just press that down for like a half a second and the glue should hold the grill. This edge has to be super clean, right? And then this edge right here where the screen lays on, it can't have any shards of glass, none. So make sure if you think you see a shard of glass, play with it, move it around. If it moves, it's probably a shard of glass. Get rid of it. You can use a wipe, alcohol, to get rid of it if you have to. Whatever it takes, just get rid of any shard of glass, because setting a flat piece of delicate OLED onto broken glass, you're gonna have a very bad time and you're gonna break your screen, and then guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have to buy another one. And you saving all that money did nothing for you, so don't do that. Just clean your area. Okay, so we're gonna run T7000 along the side here. Now stop right at the ear speaker. We got some there. Keep on running. I'm just looking at the screen here. It looks like there should be just a tiny bit of glue, and I've got some already leaking out, so I'm just trying to, don't want to get any in that ear speaker, guys. It's gotta be really thin there. But you still gotta have some there to seal up the phone properly. All right. We're less than a minute away from finishing. It's pretty simple after this, once you get the glue down. I really think that most people can do this with the proper tools. You should not do this if you're trying to recover data and it's really important to you and you've never done this. Because if you screw up your phone, which is a low chance with this particular phone, so we're gonna plug that in and then we're gonna slide this under there, just like I found it, which is a low chance, but still a chance. I would still seek a professional just to make sure they do it correctly. And if you're trying to recover data and just go to a new phone, there's no reason why a professional can't stick on a screen and download your data to your new phone and charge you maybe, so for example, I'm charging this individual $220 for this repair. So I typically charge $20 to $60 less, depending on how expensive the screen is, I guess. So I would charge them $60 less, put the screen on temporarily, don't glue it down, transfer the data off, and then hand him back his phone without a display on. Maybe even offer him a little bit of money for his unit. So there are ways to salvage phones and make some money off of individuals. You're like, oh, hey, I'll transfer all your data off if you, kick off all your turn off your Google data. Then you fix the phone properly and you can resell it and the customer's happy, they get their data and you're happy because you get to sell a phone. So, if you're a shop owner or an amateur who wants to make some money, those are always good ways to make some really good money. So what we're doing here is holding this down, flat down. You can also put this flat down on something really flat that is not going to scratch your display. I just use my fingers for a good 1 minute and we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and kick it on for the camera guys, but you can turn it on anytime. So this glue will seal up properly in 2 days. So if you have any issues, you need to remove this display and try to clean off the glue with some alcohol and maybe even some acetone, and hopefully you can still return it, depending on where you purchased it at. If you break it at all, no one's gonna ever take the return, so don't do that. Use proper heat and removal. It is gonna be easier to remove than the original one because we use T7000. It looks like this particular one used cold press glue, which is much stronger glue, but it also seals it properly. This is more softer and still a sealant, and it's one of the best ones. The Pixel 3a, 4a has used it, and even the 5, I think. But the 5a seems to have switched over to the stronger glue. But either way, if you have to remove it, you can still do that without a problem, as long as you're careful. And it shouldn't break the screen off. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Once again, links in the description. And I got a couple videos on their way that are gonna be really cool. So hopefully you guys subscribe and subscribe, like, and then also we'll be doing back glass removal on an iPhone soon without a laser machine. And it should take around 15 minutes. So we'll see how fast that goes. It's gonna be really cool stuff. We got a new sponsorship from Gadgets, so I'm really excited. All right, guys, have a good one, thanks.